We Want Cody, Part 2. The two things in play here. Wrestling fans, welcome back to my channel, the X2S Nice. If you like wrestling, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Today we're doing a Part 2, a follow-up on our We Want Cody video. And this is actually going to turn into a mini-series, We Want Cody series. Okay, so I'm going to give you updates on this saga that now has become the most interesting storyline in WWE. It's overshadowed the bloodline for sure. The Cody finishing his story angle, has been in the works for over 2 years since Cody came into WWE from the AEW. That was part of him coming to the WWE, was to finish his story. Like, that move alone was step one in finish the story. Cody left AEW where he was an EVP, surprisingly came back to the WWE where many thought he might never return again. That was step one in finishing the story. And then we see Cody wrestling Seth and building up towards a WrestleMania run, which he had against the hottest storyline in wrestling, that being Roman Reigns and the Bloodline. And he didn't have enough to overtake Roman Reigns last year. And the story has continued. Cody has continued to talk about getting that rematch again at WrestleMania. The build on this angle is unbelievable. And this is turning into a movement. So the two things in play here. One, this is turning into a movement. This has gone a little bit beyond what the WWE expected when they have teased putting The Rock in there against Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. This thing's turned into a movement. On Monday Night's Raw this past Monday, the show was somewhat hijacked. They had We Want Cody signs everywhere. Hashtag We Want Cody. Booing The Rock. Just an amazing display by the WWE Universe here. And this thing's turning into a movement. It's becoming kind of one of those things. I want to compare it to a soap opera, right? I mean, professional wrestling's been labeled a soap opera throughout the years anyway. But in soap operas, you've got your big famous superstar actor that's in a hot angle, their mama left them or whatever. Their spouse left them for another person, or their child's missing and abducted. We got to find them. The big storyline, right? On a General Hospital or Days of Our Lives or whatever the soap opera may be. And then you have that story just completely not finished, right? Or you have one of your main popular characters killed off of a soap opera, right? You've got a guy leaving General Hospital and going to the other network soap opera. They will sometimes kill that character off of the soap opera. That's kind of what's happened here. You had a major storyline going that everybody was vested in, and now you have killed it off. And this is why this is becoming a movement. Okay? Now, does it have something to do with The Rock? I think it does. I mean, everybody loves The Rock. You've got a lot of the wrestling purists coming out here getting a little upset because The Rock's kind of pushing his way in. And one of the things I think that really hurt this whole story is the way they set it up, with The Rock coming out right before Cody was going to announce picking Roman and basically whispering something in his ear. We don't even know what he's told him, and brushing him to the side. Brushing Cody to the side for an apparent matchup between Roman and The Rock. That was just not done correctly. If we weren't going to get Cody and Roman at Mania, Cody should not have won the Royal Rumble. So you have a lot of people saying, this whole thing's a work. It's going to still be Cody and Roman. Then you have reports saying since January, it was going to be Rock and Roman. Lots of things in play here. And the part 2 of this is going to really explain what's really going on. Okay. So number 1, this is turning into a movement with the Cody Rhodes. Now, number 2, This is an indicator of a significant, major power change in the WWE. If that's not evident as to what's going on, this is also another indicator of this power change. You had Triple H, Vince McMahon, in there. You have seen some of Vince McMahon's top executives resign, and then the Vince McMahon story comes out again, and now Vince is off the board a day after The Rock was on the board. And now The Rock is on the board. He got paid $30 million in stock options. Now, that doesn't mean he got paid $30 million. That $30 million can go up or down, depending on what the stock does. So if his $30 million crashes because of the Vince McMahon story, he's lost some of that $30 million. However, if it goes through the roof, it doubles, it triples, The Rock could be paid upwards of $100, $200 million or more for this deal. $30 million in stock options is quite a bit of stock, okay? And it really puts The Rock heavily invested now in the WWE. And that's one of the reasons why you're seeing Ava is now the NXT GM. Who is that? That's The Rock's daughter. Nia Jax is now dominating in the women's division, where she was run off just a couple of years ago because she was sloppy in the ring and people didn't like her attitude, whatever. She's related to The Rock. And you have The Rock is now bringing in Brian, I'm not going to say his name right, Gertz. Brian Gertz is now with The Rock. He was a lead writer years ago, and he is raved about by everybody from Bischoff to everybody. Okay, they think this guy is really good. Now, why does he have Brian coming in? And that's apparent because Triple H is on the way out, folks. Okay, Triple H is on the way out, and this is part two, a significant major change in power. The Rock came in January. He got on the board right before the Vince McMahon scandal hit. And now all of a sudden, The Rock is main eventing WrestleMania. I believe this match was in the works, but I believe this match, Rock and Roman, I think they were going to do it at Crown Jewel because The Rock would have gotten paid more by the Saudis to come and do that on top of his stock option money. Okay? Now, because of the Vince McMahon scandal, I think they sped this angle up, and now we're getting Rock and Roman at WrestleMania. So this does represent a major, significant change in power. I look for Triple H and Shawn Michaels both to be out of the WWE within the next year. And I think Triple H, it could be a matter of weeks before Triple H is gone. I don't know if he'll make it to WrestleMania. And some of this, it's a significant major change in power. And you see Cody was Triple H's boy. That was Triple H's story. It wasn't just Cody's story. If you remember what Triple H told Cody after WrestleMania last year, in Rocky 1, Rocky didn't win, right? He has to come back. And that's what Cody was doing, coming back. This is Triple H's story, folks. And now The Rock is in power. Brian Gerwitz, I'm sorry, I butchered his name, but he's coming in. And if it's proven Triple H knew anything about the McMahon scandal, he's gone. And folks, I'm sorry to say this, but you cannot honestly sit here and tell me that Triple H didn't know some of the ins and outs of that. Now, I don't think he knew the really gross parts of it, right? But I do think he knew some of it. And I would say Shawn Michaels did too. And I believe those guys are on the way out. Okay, now these are all allegations. We got to see how this plays out, folks. Nobody knows how it's going to play out. Okay, but the WWE, this is their plan B, the backup, The Rock, bringing in Brian Gerwitz. That is the plan B. And I think Triple H, I think there's a strong possibility he doesn't make it to WrestleMania. Now, this WrestleMania press conference is going to be critical on Thursday night for several reasons. Are they going to officially announce Rock and Roman? There could be a pivot made here, right? The outrage, the backlash on The Rock alone. Rock doesn't want that. He wants people to go watch his movies once he gets back in Hollywood. He doesn't want people to hate him. So that's the worst thing The Rock could do. And they did not think that was going to organically appear. Nobody thought that, right? They thought the Rock Roman match was so over that it would overshadow and people would be fine with it. Well, they weren't. And again, we go back to part one here. It's like killing a story in a soap opera or killing off one of your best actors in a soap opera. It outrages your audience. It causes an uproar. Okay? But number two, again, this represents a significant major change in power, and this press conference is going to be critical. How has Triple H come across at this press conference? That's the main thing I'm going to be looking for Thursday night. How does he come across? Does he come across as a very strong, still in charge type person? Or does he come across as he's just doing what he's being told right now? Okay, and you can keep an eye on this, and we'll figure it out. That's going to be the biggest thing I'm looking for. And then number two, of course, are they going to announce Roman and Rock, or will we get a pivot back to Cody and Roman, the original story? So those are the two things in play. Again, we're going to keep you updated with all the major details, give you some analysis, opinions only on what's going on. It's great talk. It's fun talk. It's Cody Rhodes, baby. It's We Want Cody. Hashtag We Want Cody to finish his story. Make sure you subscribe to our channel so you can stay up to date on our We Want Cody series, and give this video a big thumbs up for the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.